This is the morning weather update. This is for Wednesday, the 11th of October. I'm James Spann. Alabama's weather turning wet today. Rain amounts will be heavier over the southern half of the state. If you're north of Birmingham, probably not much rain, nothing really beneficial. And after that, weather looks relatively dry for the rest of this week, the weekend, and much of next week. This is the upper air look this morning. And again, there's a deep upper low that's over eastern Canada. We have a tropical system that has come into Mexico. That was Hurricane Lydia. That made landfall last night as a major hurricane. And moisture from that streaming up this way. And a broad surface low is in the Gulf with a warm front there. And we have rain falling over parts of South Alabama early this morning. That's the radar composite about 5 o'clock. And nothing especially heavy, but that rain will be expanding and building northward today. Not as cool as recent mornings. We've got mostly upper 50s and low 60s over the northern half of the state. Mobile sitting at 68. High should be in the 70s today. There's the watch warning map across the country. We got some winter weather and wind issues for some of the western states. And around here, we have wind advisories for the Gulf Coast. Southern Baldwin, southern Mobile counties, and right on the Florida Gulf Coast because of the low in the Gulf. Now, not a tropical low. This is a frontal low, but it will be a rather breezy today. And we do note a few parishes in Louisiana under a flash flood watch. In terms of the severe weather potential through tonight, there's a risk of severe storms over parts of Florida and also a marginal risk well to the north. Tomorrow, again, the chance of a few severe storms over the Florida Peninsula and out across the heartland. And on day 3, Friday, the marginal risk from near Chicago down to St. Louis. So the rain for the next 7 days. And as you know, we certainly could use some around here. And again, if you're north or west of Birmingham, the news is not good. You'll probably see some light rain today, but probably not much, under a tenth of an inch. The better rains across the southern counties. This is suggesting rain amounts between 1 and 2 inches south of a line from near Jackson to Montgomery to about Valley. And again, really after we get past today and tonight, prospects of rain look awfully small for the rest of this week, the weekend, and through much of next week. So in the tropics, this is the 2-day outlook. We have, and again, the system in the Gulf, it's not a tropical low, it's a frontal low. So there's no chance of any tropical development there. We have a new tropical storm on the board in the eastern Atlantic, Tropical Storm Sean, and a new wave that is coming off the coast of Africa. This is the 7-day outlook. In terms of that new wave, only a 20% chance of any development. That should stay a low-latitude system, but because of dry air and shear, the chance of that developing quite low. This is the forecast track of Tropical Storm Sean. This is likely to remain relatively weak over the course of the next 5 days, then ultimately becoming post-tropical far from land by the end of the weekend. We don't believe it's a threat to any landmass. And again, even though we've got the active weather in the Gulf today, it's not tropical. We see no tropical storms or hurricanes for the Gulf, at least for the next 7 days. Model fans. Here we go. This is the GFS. This is the 06C run ballot today at 4. Big trough in the west, upper low that's over eastern Canada. And again, you can see that wave coming through the Gulf. Underneath that, a surface low under 1,000 millibars should be south of Pensacola. This is today at 4 o'clock. And that will create a wet, breezy, windy day for the Gulf Coast today. This is what the radar could look like this evening at 6 o'clock. This is coming off the HRRR, the high-resolution rapid refresh model. And again, you can see the bulk of the rain along and south of Interstate 59, south of a line from near Tuscaloosa to Birmingham to Gadsden. If you're in the Shoals, I wish I could have better news for you, but the chance of any meaningful rain here just very, very low. Really the same thing for Huntsville and the better range over South Alabama. Even there, the models have backed off on the amounts. This is suggesting the heavier rains could be offshore in the waters of the Gulf of Mexico. But the bottom line is cloudy, wet today for much of the state with highs in the 70s. So tomorrow, the wave moves on to the east, and we should be mostly dry. The sky becoming partly sunny after morning clouds, highs in the 70s. We note that new low, that's a deep, deep surface low, 986 millibars. on the Nebraska-Kansas border. That's going to likely bring some snow to parts of the Rockies. That surface low Friday moves to Iowa, southeast of Des Moines, and trailing that will have a surface front. And on Friday, it looks like a mostly cloudy day, and there could be a few scattered showers Friday. Probably Friday morning with that little feature in the Gulf, but not much. And as the front comes in here Friday night, there's just not much moisture to work with. Could there be a shower? Yes, but anything meaningful? Probably not. And then Saturday, as the weekend begins, the sky becoming partly to mostly sunny during the day. The day should be dry. And the high Saturday will likely be in the 70s. So a pretty nice day there. And then Sunday, an air mass change. A pretty cool air mass drops in here. The high Sunday dropping into the upper 50s over the Tennessee Valley. 60s for the rest of the state. And the sky should be mostly sunny. Monday, cool and dry. Lows in the 40s, highs mostly in the 60s. Same thing on Tuesday. And this is a week from today, Wednesday the 18th. We have a trough east of the state. A northwest flow aloft, and again, a very dry air mass. Next week looks rain-free. We'll go out to the end of the week. This is Friday the 20th. A little short wave over Oklahoma and Arkansas, but that rain will stay west of here, and we're still dry. So again, the basic idea after today, there could be a few spotty showers on Friday, and then dry weather for the weekend and all of next week. Rain for Birmingham coming off the European ensemble. You're looking for that green line. That's the mean. Just not much between now and the 26th of October. The mean between 1/2 and 1 inch. And keep in mind, November's almost here, which is crazy to say, but it's almost here. Before you know it, the Christmas trees will be up, and November marks the beginning of the tornado season here. For those that are new, our tornado season is November through May. And typically we see more frequent rain producers. We can see some very active storms in November. So it's coming. Temperatures for Birmingham coming off the NBM, the National Blend of Models. 70s through Saturday, 60s for Sunday and the first half of next week. Lows dropping well down in the 40s by Sunday morning and the first few days of next week. And the latest 8 to 14-day guidance in the house. This is for October 18th through the 24th. We're in the blue, meaning temperature should be below average if this verifies. So a lot of people looked up and they saw this yesterday. What's that? I think if you watch these videos, you're probably a weather dweeb, and you know that is a 22-degree sun halo caused by high-altitude cirrus clouds. Those cirrus clouds are up at about 25,000 feet. Of course, it's way below freezing up there, so they're ice crystals, and they refract the light, making for that effect. How about the Cullman County Fair last night? Great night for the fair, one of the bigger events there in North Alabama. How about that one? Alien abduction. How many of you have ever gotten sick on the tilt-a-whirl? Lose your lunch on that thing. But just a great night. A lot of folks having fun with some fine weather up in Cullman County. So today headed to Winston County to see my friends at Lynn School, home of the Lynn Bears. Then tomorrow going to Coosa Christian in Gadsden. Friday morning I'll be at Maplesville School, home of the Red Devils down in Chilton County. And then Friday evening, our Friday night rivals game of the week, it's Southeastern at Locust Fork, home of the Hornets. We'll be there at 4, 5, and 6 on ABC 3340. Then on Blitz Game Day at 6:30. That's on Channel 68, our sister station. The game itself is on Channel 68 at 7. And again, no book event this weekend, Saturday, Alabama, with an early kickoff. And again, a reminder here. Come on now, you know the deal. We have this annular eclipse on Saturday. And this will take place during the Alabama-Arkansas game. The path of annularity includes cities like Corpus Christi and San Antonio and Albuquerque. That's where most of the sun will be covered by the moon. You'll get the ring of fire effect because it is an annular eclipse, not a total eclipse. And here it's going to be a partial eclipse. And it begins about 10:30. The peak will be at 12:08. And at that point, about 57% of the sun will be obscured by the moon. And again, I don't think a lot of people would notice that if they didn't know, but it will be a little dimmer. And of course, the message here, it's, obviously you don't stare at the sun on a regular day and you don't stare at the sun during an eclipse, but people are going to be tempted to do that. And of course, that can damage your eyesight and your eyes. You don't want that to happen. So the concept is to get some of the eclipse glasses. And, there's a lot of glasses being offered online that really aren't up to the ISO standards. So be sure they are eclipse glasses, but you might want to get those if you want to watch it. It's a great science lesson for your children, or for you, or for us. I love it. It's great. But obviously, we're going to have to remind the fans at the game not to look up at that thing unless you've got the glasses. And again, the peak's going to be at about 12:08. That's going to be during the second quarter, most likely. And we're going to get on the jumbotrons and talk to them clouds on Saturday morning, but the sky should become mostly sunny by late morning, and it should be generally clear by the time that eclipse happens, the partial eclipse here. And of course, we invite you to watch us on television this evening, ABC 3340 News at 4, 5, 6, and 10 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and God bless.